You're watching Steel City MotoVlogs. I'm Derek T, your host. Today is September 13th, Friday the 13th. About 83 degrees. Riding out State Route 22 on my way to Keystone State Park in Derry, PA. I felt like I wanted to get one more camping situation happening before probably going to shut down the whole camping idea for 2024. It is September. If I'm not mistaken, I think the state parks, they close for the season, and I think that happens sometime in November, if I'm not mistaken. But we're at that juncture in the year where, at least here in Pittsburgh, you know, fall starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, spring at noon, summer at 4 o'clock, winter at about midnight. It gets really, really cold at night. Probably, well, I won't say really cold. Relatively speaking, it gets cold at night. 83 degrees now, but I think the low is going to be like 58 tonight, which is a considerable difference. Enough for me to pack a space heater, that's for sure. Enough to pack a space heater. But yeah, I'm gonna run this one out. Supposed to be meeting with some people, but I don't think that meeting is going to be happening. I think I'm in this one by myself. You know how when you plan something with a group of people, but one by one people start acting funny? You know, I've just kind of learned I'm going to stick with my plan no matter what everybody else decides to do. So if I end up in this one by myself, it won't be the first solo camp out video on my YouTube channel. Not in the slightest. So yeah, it's about 6 o'clock. Actually, it's 5:50 right now. I did teach the school day, so I didn't get home until 3 o'clock, and of course I didn't pack anything until I got home from work. So the plan is to get out here and set up camp, and then probably leave out and go get some dinner. I'm not going to cook anything. I didn't bring any food with me. And there's a reason for that. Because the last time I went camping, we ended up having a visitor at the campsite of the furry persuasion. He was looking around through the trash. We had gotten tired and forgot to take the trash to the dumpster, and so by the morning, what little bit of trash was in the trash bag was all over the campsite. And that was the least of my concerns, because when I heard rustling around at 3 o'clock in the morning, I didn't know what kind of companion was outside, and I wasn't trying to find out either. I just said I'm going to stay here inside the tent, and hopefully whatever's outside will lose interest or never gain interest, I should say, in who or what might be inside of the tent. So I didn't bring anything this time. Like I said, I'm going to go grab a bite after I get everything set up. Plus, I got to buy some wood for the fire, too. That's kind of what the evening should look like. It's starting to get darker earlier. So I imagine I have until about 8, maybe just shy of 8:30 before it really starts to get dark. Here, just pushing into that season of the year. Although I got to say, the year's moving along We've been in school for 4 weeks now. At this rate, it'll be summer vacation again before you know it. And that's not a complaint at all. This campground that I'm going to, you all have seen it before, Keystone State Park. You've seen it before in some of my other videos. Although I didn't get the same site this time. I can't say I'm 100% excited about the site that I got. It's just based on when I made the reservation versus what was available. There wasn't a lot to pick from. I know the one that I wanted, but that one, I guess it's pretty popular because it's been a long time since I've been able to actually find that one open at a time that I was thinking about putting a trip together. So, I mean, there's pictures of it on the website. I'm not sure how much justice the pictures do it. This is me hoping that the pictures don't do it very much justice, and I actually like what I see in person better than what I see on the park's website. But it is a modern electric site, which is what I usually reserve when I do these kinds of things. I haven't gone primitive just yet. All right, it is Saturday morning, the 15th of September, and I'm at Keystone State Park, and you all already know how I do with my tent. So, like I said, this is a smaller campsite that I'm used to getting, but it worked out. Here's inside. Had to use the space heater last night. It got pretty chilly, but nothing that the space heater couldn't handle. And everything else, got my electronics in there. So this is an electrical site. And everything else gonna go on and set a fire and enjoy this cool morning, and then probably get on the road after that. All right, you all. Like I said, I'm out here enjoying a cool morning. It's about maybe 65 degrees right now. You can tell the temperature is going up, which is nice. I did ride out and grab some breakfast earlier, but I had to completely dry the bike off before I did. Morning dew was all over it. It was nice and wet this morning, but you come prepared for those kinds of things. I heard a topic on a video recently by Craig Hainsworth, that I wanted to kind of just weigh in on a little bit and everything else. And he posed the question, do you prefer camping or motorcycling? And it was based off of his trip recently to the National Biker Roundup, which I didn't get a chance to. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to go to that trip this year. But if you look back on my channel, I've been to the National Biker Roundup when it was in Perry, Georgia, and also when it was in Memphis, Tennessee. So I've been to that event a couple of times now, and I couldn't agree more about the hospitality of people who are there. It's like a family reunion when you go there. It's basically a week-long cookout. Really, really like the culture of that event a lot. I'm anxiously waiting to see where their location is going to be. Little birdie told me it might be somewhere in Texas next year, and hey, never ridden my bike to Texas before, so I'm always up for the challenge of that. And we'll see where that location is. I'm going to start planning early to see if I can make to that trip next year. But the National Biker Roundup is just that. It's a moto camping event. It might have started out as a motorcycle rally, but it has really turned into a week-long camp out. I mean, when I was in Memphis last year, there were more RVs there than there were motorcycles, it seemed. It was a lot of camping, which is, like I said, that's not a problem for me. I like it. Do I prefer one over the other? I've actually come to enjoy them both, even though I do more riding than camping. I enjoy them both, and honestly, for the same reasons, if I really, really think about it. And that is, for an overnight like this, to get away, it's almost like a mental health retreat. You know, you just kind of get a chance to step away, breathe the air a little bit, relax. The problems that, life brings, they're going to be there when I get back home, whatever it is, so just kind of get away from it, kind of think your way through it, pray your way through it, kind of strategize, go back and, attack life the way that, you should attack life. And so for me, riding produces that too. It's that wind therapy that we talk about all the time. Getting on the bike and getting on two wheels and getting that wind in your face and the scenery around you that it produces. Can't beat that. This campfire is really trying to smoke me out here. Let me see if I can. Yeah, the wind shifted a little bit and it's kind of in my face. That's better. I was trying to muscle my way through it. Did you see that? Now it wants to come this way. But for really the same reasons, camping and riding kind of just do it for me. So I can't say I prefer one to the other. I think I enjoy them both equally, although one of them I clearly do more than the other. But I'm hoping to change that too, where I get a chance to do some more camping. And some longer trips where, spending, instead of one night, spending several nights, setting up camp and being able to get out and enjoy what's around me. And so I haven't graduated to the RV lifestyle yet, or the toy hauler lifestyle yet. Don't know if I would. I guess need will dictate that if I ever do or don't. But for right now, moto camping that's kind of what I do, what I enjoy. And whenever you can enjoy them both at the same time, I think that's a double blessing for me. And so that's kind of my weigh in on it and everything else. This is Derek T. Like I said, I'm live from Keystone State Park right now in Pennsylvania, and I just did an overnighter here. You all see the tent behind me, and not too far from me is that right there with the trailer set up. And so I'm going to go on and finish my day, and I'll get back to you all shortly. All right, YouTube, so here's to another successful camping run, a solo mission, what ended up being a solo mission out to Keystone State Park in Derry, PA. Today is Saturday the 14th. I think I misspoke earlier in the video and said it was the 15th. Today is the 14th. And as always, whenever I go camping, I typically meet some really nice people. today I met some nice people and I learned some stuff along the way. One of the things that, well, let's start off with a little bit of lighthearted stuff. One of the things that happened when I first got there, because yesterday was Friday, I taught the school day, and then I came home and literally packed from scratch and got out to the campground. So by the time I got out to the campground, I probably had about maybe 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours worth of sunlight, and I hadn't eaten anything. And so I knew I wanted to get there, set up camp, go back, grab a bite to eat, and then get back to the campground and do all of it before darkness fell, because I didn't want to be trying to navigate my way through dark, windy roads, you know, leading back to the campground and everything else, with deer jumping out and everything else. I kind of wanted to be there and be settled before it really got dark. So when I got there, I did just that. I got there and, you know, I was moving with a purpose. Some people will call it rushing. I prefer to say moving with a purpose. And so I got there and I got my tent set up and everything else, and was ready for the overnight, and went and grabbed a bite to eat and came back, and I timed it just perfect because it had just gotten dark when I got back to the campground, and, you know, spent the night and everything else. And when I woke up the next morning, the guy at the site next to me said, "I've never seen a tent go up that fast before." He said, you were ready to go in 20 minutes. He said, "You look like you've been here for 5 days. You've been here for 20 minutes. So that was pretty cool. And we spent some time talking and getting to know each other. It was a pretty cool dude. And then I met somebody else, and it taught me this lesson, that sometimes we tend to lose sight of the fact that some of the things that we do for recreation, for instance, Craig Hainsworth had a video out talking about motorcycling or camping. Which one do you prefer? I weighed in on that topic earlier in the video, and I'll just finish it off by saying, number one, I enjoy both equally, even though I get to do one more than the other. I get to ride more often than I get to camp, but I enjoy them both. But to that point, one of the things that one of my takeaways from this particular trip is some of the stuff that we do for recreation, other people do for survival. You know, and I met somebody there who, you know, he and his family are, you know, for lack of a better term, they're camping because they have to. Just to leave it at that point, because I don't want to put too much out there. But I realized that I was there to have fun. They were there surviving, you know, and planning their next move, whatever the next move was going to be. And so it definitely has me thankful for what I have. Everything's not perfect, but then again, you know, whose life is absolutely perfect? But I'm definitely grateful for what I have. Got a home to go home to. I got a wife that loves the heck out of me. I love the heck out of her too. You know, we're crazy about each other, and that's, you know, it makes it easy to come back home, so to speak. But yeah, you know, I'm thankful because I have, you know, I have a blessed life. I don't have everything that I want, but I'm happy. And, you know, things could definitely be worse. You know, it could be me, you know, outdoors, no food, no clothes, you know, and that's just not my case, and I'm thankful for that. So without turning this all the way into a sob story or a tearjerker, just wanted to end on that note. You know, be grateful for what you have. You know, things could be worse. So definitely be grateful for what you have. I'm definitely grateful for being able to go away to a campground for recreation and not because I have to. So that's it for now. I'm going to get going. This is Steel City MotoVlogs. I'm Derek T, and I will catch up with you all on the next adventure.